How's it going, everyone? We're back with another bounty. This time it's the old sewers that we are trying to skip. In this short video I will try to explain as best as I can what we have found in the past and the potential areas where skips would be theoretically possible to skip the entire level. Alright, and here we are in the old sewers. During this video I will use the robot's helper to assist me in showing you certain areas of the level. We are trying to get behind this door. If I go through it, then I will quickly prove to you that the end trigger is always there. It's not far inside of the tunnel that the end trigger is located. It's like a few meters after the door, like behind the door, that the trigger is. So that's actually pretty helpful that it's not required to collect all 50 of these parts. Which, to verify, there are 52 parts in this level. The question came up on Discord that asked if a level skip is required or maybe a trick would be good enough to also consider the bounty completed, which again, it is not. We need a full level skip. The route is quite optimized. So yeah, we are looking for a full level skip. One of the first things that I want to show that was found very early during the speedruns of old sewers is this radio trick, well, computer trick, whatever. So by manipulating, you can actually roll behind it while it's still going up. And if the physics are willing to cooperate, you can launch yourself. Also, I am playing on the European version of this game, the European PC version, which has the highest jump and has the fastest roll. So if you're playing on PC, use the European version. There are no benefits, as we know of, to play the American version. When it comes to GameCube, the Japanese version is the fastest. Look, this was one way, and if maybe we can still look around. So yeah, as you can see, this would be one potential area to look in, to try to launch yourself sideways. So from behind the computer that is below me, right there. Sideways, out of bounds, trying to hit the end trigger. But as you can see, it's the end trigger doesn't seem to be very far away out of bounds. So if we are at this height and then move ourselves towards the trigger. Alright, so around that height is where you can still touch the end trigger. So it does extend quite a bit underneath the tunnel. So theoretically, if the physics are on your side, you could theoretically use this to launch yourself at a very precise angle and to touch the end trigger. Another theoretical way of skipping this level is if you go into this room. This room, I call it the lava room, the fire room, the pit of hell, whatever. So here we have this elevator thingy. It does have some weird quirks. Sometimes it goes up, sometimes it doesn't. I don't know what exactly triggers this thing to go up and down. But if you would be able to launch yourself or to get up here, you can just roll through the wall and keep rolling on top of this tunnel. And with a small oops, and I fucked up. And with a small boost, you can roll on top of the ceiling. If you don't do the boost and the jump, you will clip through the ceiling again and you have to start over. So by boosting and jumping, you can get on top of the ceiling and then it is just hitting the trigger again. Another one This is not really a skip, but it's kind of like a quirk in the engine right over here. Now, you activate it by pressing this button, and what it usually does is, if you go inside, you get launched upwards. And I'm gonna let go. I'm not gonna touch any buttons. Like right now, I'm not touching anything. It stops you. It's like you're hitting a wall. But if you touch the sides, basically, of the fan at the point where it stops you, and you hit jump, then it just stops working for some reason. Like it doesn't want to do anything anymore. Then you have to go outside of the trigger, go inside again, and you can fly up. Now, one way I was thinking is if you launch yourself against this rail, as you can see, it kind of pushes you. You can kind of clip inside of this railing, and it tries to push you out of it. Also, one interesting thing I want to show you is by pressing these buttons, certain things happen. Like if you press this button, the computer activates, and if you press this button, for example, the rails rotates to their desired destination. You can still do one input when the button is pressed. For example, I'm gonna try to pull this off. You can hit the button and still jump off of it. And the interesting thing is, if you hit a death trigger, it will freeze Rodney in place until the cutscene is over. And then when the game realizes, oh, the cutscene is over, I have to, initiate the last event that was on hold, it starts the last event, which is the death trigger. Now, another interesting thing is if you do this, look, it did activate the computer, but nothing happens. Now, occasionally if you do this, the game crashes. I don't know if this is any useful, probably not, but I want to mention it anyway. This door, if you jump on it, it launches you as well. And sometimes you just clip through it, which I'm gonna try to pull off. It's more on the edge that you have to be to do this. Yeah, look, now it didn't launch me, but it kind of jitters around and lets me clip through it. It also only occurred twice to me that I could roll underneath the door while it was still closing. And I was at the right spots where the door closed, but it pushed me through the floor. And then I just felt endlessly. But again, an interesting fact about these doors. They can launch you upwards, but with enough force, they can also clip you through the floor. However, I never was able to launch myself hard enough to clip through the ceiling. The ceiling is it solid? Yeah, it's solid. The collision doesn't match up with the geometry that you see, but there is collision. Again, if you would be able to clip through it with enough force, then again, you can just roll to the end trigger. Of course, maybe there's a flying glitch that we can do in this level as well. Maybe we have to go into the other rooms and perform some type of glitch and then fly our way out of bounds, triggering the end trigger. Who knows? I don't. That's why I put up the bounty. It will be quite a journey, and I think that's the reason why we're doing this. It's all for the fun and for the journey towards finishing the bounty. Anyway, I'll be off, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.